Welcome to this video with me, Duncan Williamson, in which I'm going to illustrate the BusinessAssist forecasting add-in that's new, and it's a little bit interesting. On the sheet you can see here, I've gone to the add-in website and I've found all of this information. BusinessAssist forecast. It's a forecasting add-in, and here's some specimen data, a tiny bit of data, but I'll expand on that shortly. And what you have to do is this: have some dates, but notice they're in this format. Month, day, year, that's the American format. No criticism there, that's what we'll have to do. Scroll down here, go to this website and find the notes. You can actually do it this way. Year, month, date, Japanese, month, day, year, American, and then with times. So you're free to do that. And then the second column must be called volume, as far as I can see anyway. I've tried other names that don't work. So call it volume. And when you read the background notes, they're suggesting this is for something quite specific, but actually this is more of a general model. All you do is this: you go and get the add-in in this way. On the home ribbon, click on add-ins. You might find it here straight away. I didn't. So click on Get Add-ins, and can you see it? BusinessAssist? Not yet. What I did was typed the word forecast and click OK, click search, and there it is. And just add it. That's all you have to do. Click on it, add it, and it will be added, literally, since it's an add-in, and you'll find it there. In my case, it's on the home ribbon, and it's there. I can find it in other ways, but since you can see it there, why not? So you've got the data. Don't have anything else in the worksheet, so get rid of that. This seems to be fine because it's a text box. I think you just need to click on the range somewhere, but just to be safe, in situations like this, I select the whole data set. And then click on the add-in, and it's a very simple interface. Mouse over, and you can see this is the data set that I've taken. If you explore a little bit more, they do have a much larger data set, but this will do for now because I'm going to show you other data sets. And what you do is this: you select a forecast end data. Notice it ends here on the 8th of February. I'm going to forecast to the 18th of February, and then choose seasonality. Try them all, by the way. I have been setting it to default, but if you set it to daily, weekly, any of the other options, see what happens. So I put default, then just click Run Forecast, and it's running in the background. It takes a few seconds, and when it's finished, it does this. So it's gone from the Data tab. It's now got your predictions on its own tab, and then a final one, which is a combination of your actual data, your predictions, and a chart. As always with Excel output charts like this, you have to edit it. I think that will do. And what do we see? Well, there's a forecast, very flat. Don't like that. So let's try something else. It's only a small amount of data, but don't worry about that. But let's try it again. Let's this time choose weekly, run the forecast, and it resets everything. There we are. Isn't that better? So by default, you're not giving it much of a clue, but when you specify weekly, it might be the right choice, by the way. Can't guarantee it is, unless you know the data very well, but it looks better, doesn't it? That gap between the two, it's real, but you can get rid of it. This is cosmetic. Put 174 to close that gap. And it's only cosmetic, it does nothing to the forecast. Well, there we are, that's it. That's what we've done, and that's what you want to do. Nothing wrong with it. That's the BusinessAssist forecast add-in. Let's move on to a different example now, a bit more complicated, a bit more interesting. Here I've got some more data, literally more data. The date is in the required format. The heading is volume. Let's experiment by just having one of the cells in the range selected. You can see I've run this already, in this file, and I've saved it already, and I've called it multiplicative data. Now let's run forecast, leave everything I've got there, change that to, again, to weekly, and then run the forecast. It's reset everything. Multiplicative data are generally on an upward trend, and what that generally means is that this amplitude increases. In other words, this should be getting larger, smaller, larger, smaller, not quite multiplicative, but anyway, it's done what it's had to do. Let's assume that it knows what it's doing. This is AIML, by the way, this module, that this add-in. And as far as the predictions are concerned, here's something that you'll see on the notes that I pointed you to. Where does the forecast come from? Well, what it does is it creates the 95% confidence boundaries, low and high, and then if you select those two and look at 163, that's the forecast. It's the average of the high and the low, and that's a second data set. And then let's have a look at the third one. Same rule, date, volume, a bit more data this time. So we learned last time, as long as you, well, let's try it. We had all the data selected. I had just one cell selected. Let's see what happens if you don't select the data at all. Keeping the same parameters. This time I've said monthly, and run the forecast. Yeah, and it reset everything. It's working away. I'm sure it's found the data since it says don't have anything else on the sheet, otherwise you'll confuse it. And I think we can see why now, because it's simply looking for two columns, date and volume. And here we are, as always. Why it gives you such a wide graph, I don't know. Maybe a little bit exaggerated. I tend to get rid of grid lines, by the way. If you like them, leave them. I also tend to put a board around, because sometimes, you know, we've got more than one graph on a worksheet with this kind of theme. Sometimes they disappear into each other. But there you are. Well, there we go. There's my data series with 48 data points. There's the forecast, predictions, low and high. From what I said before, appreciate the AIML is in these two columns here, and this is merely the mean of those two. Said that already. And there we are. What do we think of that? Actually, I did this with using R as well, and the forecast in R, even though prediction's not a million miles from this one. In conclusion then, this is useful so far. I've only had this for about 12 hours, and I've played with it along the lines of what you can see here, and it's worth playing with, isn't it? Free, simple to install, you get a free data set, go and put your own data set in. What I've tried to do with additive and multiplicative is to see if it really is, since this is more multiplicative, this data set, which is why I chose it, the amplitude is getting larger. That suggests multiplicative, and see what you think. Put your own data in. It won't give you a forecast beyond 6 months. So don't try and make it do a multi-year forecast. That won't happen. All right, there you are. That's Business Assist Forecast Add-in with me, Duncan Williamson. Thank you for watching.